A new surf park and a Meta data center are taking over Mesa. Home prices are up and so are interest rates. And 8 Phoenix metro cities are named in the top 10 most recovered from the pandemic. I'm Maegann Yarbrough, a realtor with eXp Realty in the Phoenix metro area, and this is your May market update with the AZ Real Estate Geek. So let's jump into the numbers first. These numbers are coming from the ARMLS, the Arizona Regional Multiple Listing Service, and these are all your numbers based on the previous month of April. In April, in the Phoenix metro area, we sold 9,290 homes. That is down from March, which was 10,148 sales. And that is also down from April of 2021, where we had 10,204. We should see some sales picking up here pretty soon. We're in what's called the spring sales season, and typically homes will sell more in the coming months. Our median sales price in April was $466,000. That is up from last month, which was $459,000. And as you can probably guess, that is up from April of 2021, where our median sales price was $375,000. Our average sales price was $591,568. That is up from March, which was a little over $574,000. And that is quite a big bump up from April 2021, where we weren't even at $495,000 yet. We did get 11,055 new listings in April. Huzzah, because that is up from March, which was 10,815. This time last year, we had 11,397 new listings. So that's good because we are going up in listings. There's more inventory coming up, but the little bump up from March to April is pretty normal from year to year. We had 9,093 pending sales in April. That is homes that went under contract. That is up from the 7,378 pending listings we had in March. So that's great. We are putting more homes under contract. Homes are still selling. There is still quite a demand, as we'll talk about in a second. And compare that to a little over 7,400 in April of 2021. So that means that we are still selling houses at a phenomenal rate. We're selling almost everything that's coming on the market. Our average days on market is 27 days. That is down a little bit from the previous month, which was 30 days, and on par from April 2021, which was 29 days. So houses are still selling very fast. As soon as they're getting on the market, they are going under contract. They are not sitting there and becoming stinky fish. So they're selling very fast. They are selling as soon as they get on the market. So here is a promising little statistic. We have our absorption rate. Our absorption rate is back up to 0.99 months of inventory. That is up from 0.86 months from March, and that is up quite a bit from the 0.82 months in April of 2021. So the absorption rate is how much inventory is actually on the market and how fast it's selling. If everything on the market were to go under contract and get sold, we would run out of inventory in less than a month. But now we're getting closer to one whole month versus a fraction of a month. So that's promising. I like to think so. Our sold to list ratio is 102.2%, which means that homes are still selling above list price in general. But we are seeing more price cuts. So we're seeing more of those. That means that sellers are putting their homes on the market at a preferred purchase price, but they are having to actually lower that listing price because people just aren't willing to pay too high for a house. And the big news this month is interest rates. As you probably seen in the news, interest rates are going up. The Fed has increased the overall interest rate by 0.5%, but that is affecting all sorts of rates that you are going to use to borrow money, whether it's a credit card, a car loan, and your mortgage. As of the time of this recording, which was May 6th, the interest rate for an average 30-year fixed loan was 5.64%. We have been so comfortable with those 3% interest rates, and to let them skyrocket into the high fives is kind of crazy. The Fed decided to increase interest rates mostly to help combat inflation. And it's a fine little dance, because increasing the interest rates will lower demand for products. So less people will buy those products. Therefore, hopefully the prices will start to drop a little bit. If the interest rates go too high, then we're bumping everything out of affordability for more people, and then the whole inflation situation gets a little worse. So those of you who have locked in some rates, go find that house and just find it now, because as of May 6th, we have the highest interest rates that we've seen in 9 years. Because the market is so crazy, I am trying to get you guys even more information, a little more timely. We are going to be looking at something called the Cromford Market Index. This is from the Cromford Report, which is a subscription that those of us with the Arizona Regional MLS have access to. They have a market index that they calculate themselves, and it's based off of current numbers. It's not meant to project. It's just basically to give an idea of what the market's doing and what kind of trends we're seeing. It measures a calculation between what the supply is, or what our housing industry is, versus what the demand is, like how much demand is actually out there for these homes. As you know, for the last couple of years, we have been in a seller's market where the supply is much lower than the demand. When you look at the Cromford Market Index right here, normally a normal market, which is about 6 months of that absorption rate percentage that we were talking about, is in the yellow area there, and we're looking for that number 100. As you can see, the market index right now is at 372, which is slowly dropping. We were getting to a point where that market index number was up in the 600s, which meant that the inventory was almost non-existent and the demand was just crazy. So we are seeing a slight dip in demand. As you can see, like, the demand is normal, but supply is still low. So until we can increase that inventory, that housing supply, then we are still going to be sitting in a seller's market. I do expect that demand should be dropping here pretty soon. The interest rates are playing a big part of that. I'm already feeling it. My buyers are already feeling it. My sellers are already feeling it. Even though demand is still high and my sellers are still getting a very nice price point for their homes, it's not getting the crazy bids that it was getting in the last few months. If you have a home in inventory, especially if it's an investment property, or if you're thinking about selling because you might be relocating, I'm guessing this is going to be the best time that you're going to have, because going forward, you're not going to get as many buyers fighting for that house. So you may not get that purchase price that is in the clouds, you know. If you'd like a price opinion on your home and see kind of what the market is looking like with your home, I do have a link in the description below where you can get a video market analysis from me for free, so you can get an idea if it might be a good time for you to sell. So what's going to happen with prices? Right now, prices are going to slow down. They're not going to stop, and they're not going to dip. They're going to slow down to basically a flat line. I'm guessing there'll be a little bit of a rise because we still have homes coming on the market. We still have buyers that are still locked into a certain percentage that are trying to get under contract. But those buyers that could get a decent amount of house with a 3.5% interest rate are not going to get the same amount of house with a 5.6 interest rate. So a lot of buyers are probably going to take some time off and wait until the market cools a little bit, or they have some better options on purchasing without that strong interest rate. The cruddy part of that is rentals are also not cheap right now. Arizona has one of the highest rental hikes in the country, next to Florida and the Carolinas. So I know there's just not a lot of win-win situations out there, guys. I feel you. I really, really do. We can keep talking about options and talking about what is best for you in this market. For the first time in a long time, it is actually about $200 a month cheaper to rent than to buy at this moment. But my caveat is, in the long run, buying is still going to give you more of a return on investment than renting. I have a rent versus buy in this market video I'm working on right now. So once I get that done, I will link that up here for you, just to break down the numbers for you. And if you are eligible to buy still in this market, what the long-term return on investment is going to look like for you. So some interesting trends. A website called Wallet Hub did some research on the most recovered cities in the country after the pandemic. And they were basing this on employment, the percentage of unemployment prior to the pandemic to unemployment now, and new jobs created. And they did a ranking system. And surprisingly, out of the top 10 cities in the country, 8 of those are in Arizona, and they are all in the Phoenix metro area. Number 10 being Phoenix. You've got Peoria, you've got Glendale, you've got Mesa, you've got Chandler, you've got Gilbert, you've got Tempe, and the number 1 most recovered city in the country is Scottsdale. Bravo, Scottsdale. Bravo. So good. So that means that right now the economy is good, unemployment is low. We just need to get people in homes, right? New home sales have slowed down just a little bit because of supply chain issues and permitting that keeps stumbling over why we can't get more affordable housing. But resale homes are still selling like hotcakes. And how many of you are excited about the new surf park that is opening up in Mesa? Cannon Beach is going to be a surf park with a whole bunch of amenities surrounding it that will be located in East Mesa over around Power Road and Elliott. I mean, it's a surf park. You guys can learn how to surf, and we don't have to be over in San Diego. We can do it right here in our backyard. So that's really exciting this summer, right? They should be opening up at least the surf park in June, from my understanding of the news I've been reading. But it will be surrounded by a couple of hotels, restaurants, bars, and a lot of retail shops in that area as well. Some updated news also with the Elliott Road Technology Corridor in East Mesa. Meta, previously Facebook, has just decided to expand its campus over there on Ellsworth and Elliott. The project was going to be an $800 million 3-building campus, and now they've bumped it up to a $1 billion 5-building campus. It will create about 200 brand new jobs out of that data center, but it will also employ 2,000 skilled trade workers during the completion of that project. If you want to know more about who's coming in that Elliott Road Tech Corridor, I am putting together a video for that too. That'll be right up here. So you can see some of the other businesses that will be coming into the East Mesa area and how this tech corridor came about. So that is my market update for May, keeping it kind of short and sweet. I hope to try to put this in a little bit more bite-sized situation, maybe on a weekly basis on the channel. We'll see. I don't know. Why don't you find out by subscribing? That would be awesome. You can also check out some fun behind the scenes videos and things like that on my Instagram and my TikTok. Those links will be below as well. And of course, if you are looking to buy or sell a home in the Phoenix metro area, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you out. I appreciate you watching, and until next time, stay geeky, my friends.